Welcome to the Runna Podcast. I'm Coach Anya, an international marathon runner.
And I'm Coach Ben, and one of the co-founders of Runna.
Each week we'll be deep diving into the world of running, speaking to some inspiring individuals about their running journeys.
Runna is the #1 rated running coaching service worldwide. We help hundreds of thousands of people all over the world train for any running goal. And if you want to try out Runna for free, you can try it out using the code Runna Podcast, all one word, to get 2 weeks of free access to the Runna app.
Today on the podcast, we have my good friend, the amazing Savannah Sachdev. Today is her 1,111th day of running in her running streak, which she shares on TikTok and Instagram to motivate us all to be our best selves and spread her positive energy. During her running streak, she has completed some of the most insane challenges on the planet, including the Speed Project, which she did with me from LA to Vegas, and an ultra marathon through the Dolomites. She is one of the best people I know with the best energy, which is so contagious. So enjoy the episode.
Okay. Oh, hi.
Hi, yeah, welcome.
I'm Savannah.
So, Savannah is clearly a crazy person that we will discover more about as you listen on to her being crazy. But today is your 1,111th day of running in a row.
Sir,
Have you been running today?
I have. I've done a solid 8K.
Wow. How was that?
It was really nice because it was raining today. And you know, when you look at the rain, you're like, that's going to feel horrible. And then it's just ideal. Yeah. It was like...
So it's like not cold, but it was nice and refreshing rain.
Yeah, like I felt like I was in a music video. I was like crying to Jojo.
What were you listening to and singing along in your head to?
I can't... So I have to be in silence for the first half of my run, just to like think through my thoughts. And then a little bit of Jojo, a little bit of Get Out Right Now. Just all the feelings.
Nice. I've started singing to myself when I'm like a long way away from humans on like runs or cycles on my own.
Cycles, I said. Without headphones?
No, with my AirPods on like noise cancelling, so I don't have to listen to me. But then if I cycle past someone, I feel bad for them because they're like just screaming. I'm just screaming like Wonderwall out loud on my own.
Not in central London, surely.
No, like in the countryside.
Okay, so quite recognisable.
Wow. And so, right, let's go to the start. Why did you do your first run?
Why did I do my first run? I think like a lot of people, it was lockdown and had no other options. Like literally Steve had just bought a property and we were like doing work on the property and we kind of saw that as a little bit of a workout because there was nothing else to do. I'd just been sacked from my job. And so I was trying to help him as much as possible. I'm also a step parent, so I was trying to be super present with that, but I just needed some time for me. So I'd go for like these little walks to Asda and then like eventually just jogged a little bit further, and it went from quite literally a few minutes of jogging to slowly increasing that to the crazy races that we do now.
And so when you did your first day of your current streak, did you plan to start your streak?
No.
So at what point do you go from running on day 1 and now you run on day 2? At what point do you acknowledge that you're on a streak? Was it like day 4? You're like, wow, 4 days. Or like, was it like a month without stopping and you're like, oh my word, I've done a month? Like, when did you determine that you're on a streak?
I literally, if you look back through my Instagram highlights, I've like saved random streak days, and I think there's like 3 weeks into the streak, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm 3 weeks into running every day. And then I'm like, I might just keep going because my mum's got really fit and I want to just make sure that I can rival her. And then eventually it was like 6 months. And I think because I think this is probably the issue that Runna has with me. I don't really push myself. Like I try really hard, but I need something like Runna because otherwise I just won't commit to anything. I just love chilling and I actually really enjoy the movement. It feels really natural to my body. So I think I never pushed myself to the point of injury. Like, you know how most people do 10,000 steps a day? That's
I don't think most people do. I think
no,
people
that's
aspire
like,
to.
People aspire to, even though that's a made-up number.
And it's amazing the people who do, and some people get a long way further.
Yeah. I think like I kind of see it like my 10,000 steps a day because I don't really leave my room and I don't really push myself to exertion that often. So it feels really comfortable.
What kept you running every day at that point when you hadn't run before?
Initially it was just lockdown, and I think I've always been into fitness, and it was just the only time that I was getting out every day. And I think also because I'm a big foodie and I was literally just running to food, it was just a really fun thing to do. Yeah, it just felt really natural. It's never really been a big deal to me to like get outside and moving, and I've always been a gym goer anyway, so I kind of naturally fell into it. And genuinely, like, without getting too heavy on the potty, like if you saw my family life my personal life, I think you'd be like, yeah, it's fairly clear
A
why
way
you
to
need a
go
minute.
and
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah, very much so.
And so you kind of acknowledge you're on a streak of running after 3 weeks, and you're still on it 6 months later. At that point in time, are you thinking, I'm going to work towards completing a year? Or are you saying, I'm going to do 1,000 days? Or are you just like, this is me now, this is me forever?
Funnily enough, a year into it, I don't think I was even posting on social media. Like, it wasn't for any reason. It felt so good. And Steve always would point out, like, you'll come back and you'll just be in a different mood. Like, if me and Steve argue, or if we have any issues, or if I've had anything else going on, he'll be like, please just go.
You just run away.
Please just get outside.
Just run away from him.
Yeah, just go out for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And he was like, because I always come back and I should be like a giggly fool. I should be a different person.
So that means, you then don't stop. You get to a year. You keep going. Are you planning on running every day for the rest of your life?
I think I would always now do a movement streak. Like, I now know what this does for me. I now know what moving every day does for my... I feel like mental health is such like a buzzword, but it does mean so much to me. And I was lucky enough to be brought up in a really sporty environment. My mum wasn't into fitness growing up. My dad really was. They put me into a sporty school. So I've always been able to see the benefits of it, and I've always been given the privilege of time to allocate towards fitness. So I've always known the benefits for me personally. Do you know what I mean? I'm really privileged in that sense. So I just think if I had ever had to stop a run streak, I would 1,000% rebrand to a movement streak.
And do you imagine for the next 5 years you're going to run every day? Or will you start a movement streak?
If I want to, I will. Yeah, I think it.
So you're just not bothered. You'll just run every day for as long as you want to.
Yeah, I just love it. It feels so good. It feels so comfortable. Yeah. It's not stressful at all.
Because I was thinking, before I asked you the question, that I would imagine you'll run every day. I mean, I don't know if you even want to have children.
Yeah, I want to, for sure.
Would you want,
no,
thinking right now,
no,
to run on the day that you birth a child?
Have I told you about that woman that's done a 21-year run streak, and there's literally videos of her running around the hospital after giving birth that same day.
After?
Yeah.
What if you had a 24-hour labour?
Around pregnancy, I'll stop the run streak. I'm sure before then I'll stop the run streak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
Oh, but this person who did a 21-year run streak ran every day through pregnancy.
But also, as like, I know that sounds crazy, but also like no judgment if she's claiming. If she's claiming it works for her.
It's an amazing physical achievement.
That's what I mean. If she's claiming it works for her and like she's so happy, and I'm just like, you do you. I personally don't really want to do that, but
yeah. That's what I love about your run streak, because I've discussed it with you before, but like, every run you really want to do, you don't tire yourself out every day. And it's like, people are like, oh, how are you running the day after a marathon or something? We'll get on to your marathons, because there must be somewhere along the run streak where you start training for a race. But but you really want to go out because you don't push yourself so hard every day. It genuinely improves your life, and it brings more that takes away from you.
100%. And I feel like you'll understand this more than anyone. Well, you both will. When you do a speed session or an endurance session and you really push yourself, it's so tough to get out the next day, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to get me to push myself. I really, really like what I do. And so like, even we try and get me out in an interval session, and I will do it. But the next day I'll do a recovery session for myself, which would be like a mile or a couple miles super slow. But I like this game.
I can like an example of it is just like, we were in LA for a Strava conference 2 months ago, and I feel like you'd done something really big. You come straight from doing the speed project.
Yeah.
That you should have had really tired legs.
Yeah.
And you get up early and you ran to the best bakery around.
Yeah.
And then Savannah runs back and gives everyone at breakfast these incredible chocolates, sweets, cookies.
But I will also say, me and Steve talk about this all the time. Do you guys find that when you're happier in life, you feel less tired, you're more excited to like attack the day?
Yeah. I think energy isn't, you can make energy from exercise.
100%. And I've not always been like this, but in recent years I'm like slightly happier with my job, with my relationship, the day to day, and like my mental health is like incrementally getting better, and so I'm just more excited to get up. And I wouldn't have been like that before.
It's the opposite of being lethargic.
Yeah.
As in, like, you lounge around on the sofa all day, you feel really tired, but you 100%. Get up and go on a run, you come back and can't wait to do the next thing.
Yeah. Like 4 years ago, about 4 years ago, I remember lying in bed next to Steve and just crying, couldn't get up, felt sick, couldn't do anything, started taking antidepressants, just wouldn't move. And that's just so different to this morning. My alarm being set for 6 a.m, me getting up at 5:45 naturally, and being so excited to get outside in the rain because it felt like I was in a music video. It's just so different.
And sounds like you had a really fun run this morning.
Yeah.
Presumably not every day is a fun run.
Yeah, of course no.
And how do you get yourself out on those hard days?
I think because I've had the really shit days, like I know what the polar opposites are. And I do know that even, again, I'm very privileged and I have the time and space and lack of responsibility to make that decision. Like I know that if I lie there, then I'm either going to feel really crap about myself and I'm going to sit in that anxiety, or I can get up and I can get moving for a minimum of 10 minutes. And the likelihood is that my mood is going to be improved. And I know which decision I'm going to make every single day. Like it impacts my whole day, my whole job. My whole job is me turning up and being excitable on camera every day. And if me choosing to do a 10-minute jog is going to help me be better at that, I'm 1,000% going to choose it.
And is that the way that you actually help yourself out the door, which is just like you're just aiming to do a 10-minute jog?
Yeah.
And then you do 10 minutes and you're like, wow, this is fun, right? 8K in the rain it is.
100% the 10-minute rule every time. Just get outside, do 10 minutes, turn around if you want
Because
to.
that makes it so much less mentally taxing, because you don't need to be thinking, right, I need to do 15K, I need to plan my route, I need to do this, 10 minutes out the door, and then you're okay if that's all it is.
Especially because I've got my plan. So I have a number that I'd like to hit, but at the 10-minute point, if I don't feel comfortable, I just turn around. Also, that's a really sweet spot for feeling warmed up enough to feel good to continue. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just such a good number.
So, along the way, you've done some unbelievably amazing things.
Yeah.
What would you say is the first one that we should start at? And let's go chronologically through your journey to being Savannah today. What would you say was the first big challenge? Was it London Marathon? Was it something?
When you first get into the running space, I don't know if you guys would agree. I remember seeing online everyone doing marathons, whatever, different races, and them having like a whole support team, loads of friends behind them, loads of family at finish lines, all of that kind of thing. But I'm a bit of a loner. I didn't really have any of that. And so I remember the first race that I picked was a half marathon in Pleshy, and turning up to that start line by myself, running that. It turned out that I'd booked like a race where everyone there was in incredible shape. I think it was some like qualifying race for something. And so I was like really thrown in the deep end, and I was just like on my own. And I just learned so much about myself in that moment. When you turn up to a start line where other people are better than you, where objectively speaking, they're better than you, they've got a support team, they understand how to fuel themselves, all of that, and you're just throwing yourself in the deep end. That was absolutely terrifying because I had no one. And I just thought there was something so wrong with me because I had no one and no understanding of how to get to the finish line.
Why did you sign up to that race? To push yourself, or to just to experience it? Or
just to experience it. It was cheap as well. I think races are really expensive. It was also close to my home. It's like half trail as well. It was just manageable. I think people really think as well, they're like, they try and sign up to like London Marathon, right, which is kind of pretty expensive, difficult to get there, all of those things.
Yeah,
one isn't more relevant than another.
And you felt like that on the start line, all these people, like you said, better than you on the start line. Did you enjoy it at the finish line?
I was obsessed. I was so obsessed with myself. Like I remember crossing the finish line and just anything like that had always seemed so out of reach for me. So I was just so shocked that I'd been able to do that on my own.
And that was the first time you'd ran the half marathon distance?
Yeah. And then do you know what? Also getting myself home after that, I was just so impressed that all of those things considered, like I'd just done it. I'd got myself there, I'd fed myself, run a bloody race like that, and then managed to get myself home. I was just so in awe of like my strength and that empowering.
And do you have an idea of where within that streak that came? Was that day 100? Was that year 2?
It would have been under the year. Like quite early on, but then also a year of practicing something every single day, you are going to get quite good at it. So I think at that point, whenever I did it, I probably would have been quite a strong or confident runner, but being in a race environment was still quite scary for me. But that was honestly probably one of my biggest achievements. I loved it.
And did that excite you to run further?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
So what came next?
I think I did a few half marathons.
With the goal of getting faster or seeing new places?
I think more just trying to dilute that anxiety that you feel at the start line.
So getting used to the race environment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because also that makes you poop. Like it's like that nervousness, so like it makes your stomach go crazy, doesn't it? And that first
But
one,
it's an adrenaline rush, a race.
yeah,
So have you nailed your pre-race toilet
No,
routine now?
literally.
Okay.
I don't understand how people do it. Some people take things the night before. I literally have no idea. I can't get it down. But I'm also such a foodie that I can't. Like if something really yummy is available the day before, I'm not going to turn it down.
Yeah,
and then
you're
it just
not
messes me up.
having chicken and rice cakes.
Well, it's good to know there for everyone out there. If you try and practice for 1,000 days in a row, 1,111 days in a row, there's still a lot to learn.
Literally, yeah. I can't get it down. Still can't. But also, like the LA Marathon, I pooped 3 times during the race. So I'm like, it's not that scary. It's so normal.
Yeah. We both did Paris Marathon, and I think I did 3.
Yeah, same.
I think I did 3 in Paris.
Same. But the food there is really good, and I feel like that also helped to settle my stomach. The salty cracker things. I feel like more races should have that as opposed to gels.
I don't know if I mentioned this to you. They had dried crackers
No,
and
they were
fruit
good.
and fruit on course. Like no gels.
Do you not?
There were no gels or anything. It was dried fruit and crackers.
But they had electrolytes, dried crackers. They had like marble cake,
I didn't have any of the snacks. 'Cause
bananas. It was so good.
I always thought it would be like it's like an evil torturing person who's like, right, what do marathon runners not want? Dried crackers. And then like there's some evil person like watching through the CCTV in Paris being like, ha 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 ha. In like HQ being like, haha, there's dried crackers. But you like the dried crackers.
I've literally seen TikToks go viral over what are the best marathons to eat at, and Paris has been like high up on it.
Maybe there's like Anya Culling who's like running a 2:30 marathon and just like gel, fast, go, run. And there's
Like
Savannah
chilling, munching. She goes, like,
exploring and adventuring the snacks around Paris.
That's what it felt like. It felt like I was frolicking around Paris. It was just, I was super relaxed.
Have you ever heard about the other marathon in France, the Murdoch Marathon, where they run around the vineyards and drink wine at all the different places?
Oh yeah, that looks sick.
My friend asked if I wanted to do it this year.
Yeah,
I did say no.
Do you know when it is?
Like September, I
I
think.
feel like this would be very much up your street.
Yeah, but I'd really like to do Berlin. Potentially.
So
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really good, like Ken party kind of thing.
Yeah, I know
I'd
what you mean.
get all of my girlfriends to do it with me for my
Yeah.
hen party. They wouldn't want to do it.
She'd have to walk on it, surely, yeah. Because even like when you finish a marathon and people have pints, I'm like, that made me feel terrible. It just dehydrates you so much, right? You just feel like a piece
So
of
it
shit.
does numb the pain.
Yeah. Yeah, you could just not do the marathon in the first place.
Okay.
Okay, so you've done lots of half marathons.
Yes.
What was the first marathon you signed up for? Or was that the next challenge that came after your half marathons?
I did the London Marathon, but it was one of the COVID years, or like the last one of the COVID years. So it ended up being 8 laps around a horse.
Oh, yeah, Green Park, horse
Yeah,
first
thing,
parade.
yeah.
Oh,
8
my
laps
God.
around a horse. And then you understood. But yes, so you did your 8 laps of the horse.
Yeah, I did 8 laps of the horse.
Yeah.
And it was awful. But at least then I had a solid understanding of my capability, because if you do 8 laps, you kind of figure out your average speed and you understand where you're going to feel weak and stuff like that. Like I got a really good understanding of how I'd feel in other marathons. I feel like it was mind-numbing, but a really good first marathon.
How did you feel finishing that? Like different from a half?
I wept. Like it was insane. Yeah. And even like now looking at all the pictures, I just look like I'm in so much pain, but it was incredible. I had the best time. But that was another example of turning up to a marathon by myself, just getting through it. I had another friend that was running it, but again, like everyone else has like family members cheering them on, friends with like signs. And I remember just being like, no, I'm doing this for me by myself, and that's fine. My experience
And
is
that's what
different
you
to everyone
enjoy,
else's.
just do it for yourself.
Yeah.
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 Well, I love it.
The struggle is just so empowering.
It's
like when you cross the finish
empowerment,
line,
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
shit, I did that. Like no one can take that away from you. But yeah.
And setting the scene, so we said your first half marathon was within the year.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea when the first marathon came, or was it shortly afterwards?
I can't remember. Definitely after year
Okay,
though.
so kind of like in year 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're thinking now we're at like 400 or 500 days
Yeah, it's
in or
gotta be.
thereabouts.
Yeah.
Nice. And so then you did a few marathons?
And then we've done like pretty much then I think got into contact with you guys and then did a few marathons. And ultras just kind of
because then you
spiraled.
did the London Marathon. Was it your second London Marathon then?
Yeah.
Which was the first thing you trained for with Runna?
Yeah. Which was insane.
And you did a big PB.
Yeah. But you know what's mental about that is I had a goal time and got new shoes. I'd never worn carbon plated shoes before, got them, and knocked like 25-30 minutes off my goal time. So I didn't really think, I'm one of those people that thinks everything's made up. Like I'm one of those people that's like, electrolytes don't actually work. Like
Following a training plan, nonsense.
yeah, like not real. Like I just don't want to invest in things. So I was like, none of this is real. Like carbon plates are a lie. Like you don't need to buy them. But yeah, put them on and was so shocked. Like they really do work.
Yeah, but it's also you and your training.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But that kind of
And accumulating more and more days of becoming better at something.
yeah, fair, that too.
How did that feel, like pushing yourself for a pace? Like when a lot of your running is just getting out, how different is that for you?
Do you know what? I think that time I was kind of semi-showing off because at that time people started to recognise me in London, so people were like shouting my name as I was running around. And I was like, okay, I've got to push. Like these people can't see me. Just like not.
And
like
so you actually like absorb the pressure from everyone else, and then that pushed you to run faster, or you were running around like a victory lap, enjoying seeing all your fans.
Well, it was friends. It was just so recharging. Like I didn't go into that environment expecting that, and I think like you might have experienced this recently, but it's shocking when people start to recognise your face and say your name, and that was my first experience of it at the London Marathon. So it was just insane, and it was so fueling. So I was just so excitable.
What I find is like when I was hearing people at London Marathon, I was like, they really want me to do well. Like they would do anything for me to do well right now. So like I was like, yeah, absorbing their energy. I need to. Like they think I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah,
like
exactly. They believe in me. Yeah.
I mean, the closest I got to feeling this was running right behind Anya at Hackney, and everyone was shouting Anya.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible to see, like, exactly that. People are screaming with so much passion.
Yeah.
That, like, it just must fuel you and make you feel fantastic.
Well, I saw you at the London Marathon and you just had a grin on your face and you were just gliding and everyone was screaming your name. You just looked so like ethereal, but you look so calm as well. You head down, kept going.
Takes practice though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Have you found that you are now more relaxed at doing races, doing marathons?
I mean, so I guess I've done 5 now, 5 marathons.
Which ones have you done?
Oh, God, I don't know. 2 London, Paris, LA, New York.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Do
New
you
York.
have a favourite?
Maybe New York for the vibes. New York was crazy.
Even though you just went,
Yeah, I mean, it's because the hills, right? Like the bridges are massive. What was the question?
Which is your favourite?
Yeah, probably New York. Yeah, I loved it.
So, you've now done your marathon.
Yeah.
When did you first think about going even further and doing an ultramarathon?
I didn't. I got contacted by a sock brand that was doing the 5 marathons in 5 days through the Dolomites. And they got in contact, I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks before they were taking people.
I didn't realize that's your first ultra.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know. I was terrified and was just, but I'm one of those people that's really of the ideology that I'd rather try and fail than not. Like, I'd rather give it a good go.
And that was about a year ago, right?
Yeah.
If I was on, let's say, an 800-day running streak and then ran an ultramarathon and had to run another ultramarathon the day after,
5 days in a row.
and then the day after, and then the day after, and
And
then
what
the
was
day
your
after,
elevation?
would you
9,000 meters.
Yeah.
would you not
Yeah.
be extremely concerned that you might be about to end this amazing running streak because you have to run such a long way, or was that not a consideration, or you didn't mind?
Well, it's literally just because I don't care if I end the run streak.
Okay.
It's like so fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just stop and then
That's so
start again.
freeing.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like people always ask me, they're like, "Aren't you so stressed? Like, what if you don't wake up tomorrow and do it?" I'm like, "Cool, we'll just start again." Like the point isn't like, I think as women, we not even women, as people, we live so much for other people and other people's validation, but it is solely for me. Like it just feels good for me, and if I have to stop, I have to stop. Fine. Like yeah.
So how hard was that Dolomites ultra?
Can I swear?
Yeah.
Fuck me. Oh my God, you guys. I cried every day. It was so hard. Like,
And what was hard?
the lack of sleep. You're going to bed at, so it's probably taking you 11 hours per marathon because the amount of elevation. You're getting up at 3 to eat breakfast, and then you're getting back having had dinner at like 11, and then the crew, so they were filming a documentary around it as well. The crew are coming to your room and interviewing you before you go to sleep. And obviously they want to get as much drama out of you as possible because then the documentary comes off good. And I'm just in my room crying, like I just want to go to sleep so I can get up and have another go tomorrow. And the purpose of the documentary was to have 5 women from different walks of life and see how we supported each other. It was like a female empowerment piece. But I was the weakest athlete. But obviously I'm not a weak athlete, but the other girls were like elite athletes. They did that for a living. And the point was to see if they would pull me through, if they would support me, if they would get annoyed at me, that kind of thing, and see how we would pull each other through. But it ended up being incredible. It was insane.
Totally insane.
Yeah.
How did you feel finishing that? Did you think you were going to finish it
I
the
still
whole
can't
time?
believe I did that. Yeah. But it's such a testament to when there's an end goal, same with the speed projects, when you've got a team with you as well, like you're going to do that for the people that you're with, and you end up loving those people so much, don't you? You just become such like a little family, and you put each other through.
You were one of the strongest people mentally in our team in the speed project. Like, no, but when people were injured or not doing it, you were like, I'll do it. Like, I'll do it. Like, I'll just do it for the team. Like,
but I feel like this was the same with the Dolomites thing. I'm really happy not being the athlete. I'm really happy being the personality high. Like, I'm really happy being like, it's fine, we're fine, we've got this, we're a team. Like, do you know what I mean? I think someone like, because you're obviously an incredible runner, so I'm like, I'm gonna be the one that makes everyone smile. Like, that's fine. You can't bring negativity to an environment like that, I think, because everyone's got their own reason for struggling.
yeah.
You know?
So you were both part of the same team on the speed project,
Yeah.
which is running from
LA to
LA
Vegas.
to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Beforehand, Anya mentioned an interesting challenge
Oh my
that
God,
you have to overcome, which is
You were like, because we were crossing time zones and different days and going back 6 hours. You were like the run streak, like, have I run today or not yet?
Yeah,
Like, what
literally.
counts? And
Yeah.
that's another worry.
Yeah.
Like,
because you cannot now fly from America to Australia, because if you spent the whole day on a plane and went forwards in time, you don't experience a day. Would that be correct? Or is it like, I'm sure there'd be some way that you could miss, as in if you were in the sky for like a 16-hour flight.
Savannah will be running up and down.
I actually think I would.
You just went up and down the plane.
I think it should be so funny. Well, I was just in China, right?
Also, if you tracked it on Strava, you'd have some incredible splits, because you get the distance the plane's moving.
You would.
Do you reckon you would?
Well,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't connect to your GPS. But in theory, you are running very fast.
What's the flight time to Hawaii?
So Savannah's running the Hawaii Marathon in
I did
December.
have a look. It's about 28 hours, but there's a changeover.
Oh, is
So
that?
we're going to have to do a team run on the plane.
In the changeover, we're going to have to do a little run.
Yes.
Oh, in the
In the
airport.
airport, yeah.
Yes. Will you do it with me? Can we actually do
So
it?
are we both going to...
Yeah.
We're all going to work
Yeah.
together.
Well, you have to do a couple miles with me in the airport.
Honestly, what a hard job this is. Isn't it?
That's what I mean. It's so everything's just a game. Like,
I
it's
feel
so
like
funny.
we shouldn't tell everyone about this, because this is a bit nice. But yeah, so we're going to be doing some... so where are we doing our layover today?
Is it? I actually can't remember.
So we'll have a layover somewhere, and we'll do a run around
Will
the
you guys
airport.
run with me?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll have to run from one end of the airport to get snacks to the
Over
other,
and-
and
yeah.
then run back.
Done.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, that's not really taxing. That's just funny. Like, I feel like this has just turned into a game.
The way you just say yes to everything is it's insane. Like, do you have plans? Like, go, or is it just if it comes to your door,
Just waiting
like
to-
you
yeah.
just
You
wing
take me
it.
anywhere you
If
guys
you want to
wanna.
do it, you'll do it. Like,
Do you know what
Yeah.
run you're going to do tomorrow?
I mean, what's programmed on my runner plan? Probably. Yeah. If I want to. Yeah. But then I also think, because I'm so lax, sometimes I do need that to push me.
Do you have days where logistically it's inconvenient? Like, you could be at a friend's wedding, and like, do you just have to like be like, I'm going to the toilet, and you just go for a run and like come back again?
No, but like, for example, I was just at a bridesmaid at someone's wedding, and on my friend's wedding, and everyone that I was with thought it was really funny, and they wanted to get up at like 4 to do it with me. Like, I think like when you bring everyone in on it and you explain what you're doing, everyone wants to get involved, and it's such a good time.
I think
It's
you make
never-
time for things you love and make you
Yeah.
feel good. Don't you?
And then sometimes, obviously, if you have like a super early flight, you should still get it done. 'Cause, yeah.
I mean, we can resonate. I was up at 4:45 a.m. cycling this morning, and you probably ran before we started today, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a memory of your hardest run? Like, of the 1,111 runs, which was the hardest?
Have you guys heard of Run Grateful?
I recognise the name.
I'm not really sure if they do running events, but they got in contact a little while ago, and basically the whole point is just like talk about how grateful you are for your body moving, and then it's just like a group of people that are really, they're really spiritual, really cool, and they have a lot of really interesting discussions. But they did an event where they chose a group of people, and they asked us to run a mile every mile on the hour for 24 hours. And I would almost go as far as to say that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, because Like,
The sleep deprivation, the relentlessness.
yeah, because you've done your mile in however long it takes you, and then you've got at least like 30 to 40 minutes to try and sleep, and then you're waking up and going again. When you get to like hour 16, 17, and you've got 8 more hours to get like 8
You
more
still got
times.
8 more miles to end that day.
Yeah, so honestly, that was so difficult.
So that was difficult. Did you enjoy it?
When I was done, I was really proud of myself. During the process, no.
And then you had to run the day after that. Did you enjoy that run?
I mean, I guess it was probably hard.
For
It's quite a while
the
ago.
day before.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, you mean you've got that, imagine the day beforehand, you're like, I need to run every mile, every hour for 24 hours tomorrow. Are you then not thinking, oh, I probably should rest up today? Or you're like, I really want to go out for a run today and run and find some snacks?
Well, I'm trying to think of what hours I was running, but oh no, it would have been 12 p.m. to 12 to 12.
Oh, so you're kind of running 2 days in that.
Yeah,
I see.
so it's fine.
One of the things, I love is that you never push, like, you need to do more, you need to do more, you need to do, like, you need to get faster, you need to run longer. Like, you do just run because you love it.
Yeah.
Is that, like, your kind of message? What would you say to maybe Savannah on day one, or someone wanting to get into running? Or, like, I feel like you've got so much wisdom that you've learned through this run streak.
What would I say to someone trying to get into running? I would say to not overcomplicate a workout. I think like the 10-minute rule has been so beneficial for me. And I also think you can apply that to literally anything in life. Like you've got an extra 10, like hopefully if you want to make a change, you can give yourself 10 minutes to work on something. And I really like the phrase, nothing changes if nothing changes. Like if you want to make a difference in your life, like put that 10 minutes a day towards it. And I think the consistency, you'll get so much better than you would even realise.
That's great advice.
It is.
So we've gone through the hardest. Do you have a most enjoyable run? Or are there just too many to count?
Yeah, I mean, this morning was great. I also, what's really fun is when my stepson sees me running and he wants to join in with me.
How
That's
old-
really
how old is
fun.
he?
He's 9.
And how far can he run now?
Well, he's done a few of those park runs, and the kids' ones are 2 kilometers. They're really cute. But if we go for a run together, we'll go for like a zombie run. I won't be like, I have a 9K run. I'll say, let's do a 9,000 meter zombie run. And like see how many zombies we can get over 9,000 meters.
So a really random feature that we get asked for like every now and again in the Runner app is to be able to play like zombie music in people's ears of like, so then you like run fast and run away from the zombies. So maybe you and your stepson should just download just like have like zombie noises and then put your headphones on and run away from the
I'm
zombies.
gonna just make them for him.
Or you actually just chase them.
I feel like that could
You
work.
could dress up and chase them.
I feel like you should add a feature whereby they're actual like virtual zombies, or that you're being chased.
Well, I think this is probably a bit silly, but I think like the true imagination of what Runner could be one day is you like wear like a pair of sunglasses that have got like a hologram, and then like you're on your run, but you're being coached by like Anya and I, and we're like in your hologram right in front and being like, right, stick with us, like here's giving some tips, like Anya's having a conversation with you, and then you can like talk out loud and be like, oh, thanks Anya, great tip, and then like AI is like digesting what you've said and then putting it back to you in Anya's voice, and you see it in the hologram, or like Anya's like, oh, I'm going to pace you, and you just like see Anya running in your little sunglasses, and then you run right behind Anya and she paces you around.
Do you know what as well?
But if you wanted, the hologram could also be like zombies everywhere, and you got to like run and like navigate through them.
I don't think that's silly at all. I think it's a really good concept.
I'll let the tech team know, and that'll be out next week.
Yeah. Also, I always say like one of my mantras is I'm not tired, I'm just bored. I say that in my head over and over again, and I think like something like that, if you can keep someone engaged, they'll probably get a lot further than they think. Because people are like, go get 5K, and then they're like count it down. But if they were chasing something, or Anya's voice was in
Have you been to any of the like the VR gaming things?
No.
There's I went to one in London, and you put your VR thing on, and you can play these zombie games or whatever it is, and they are so tiring.
Really?
They're like, as in like, if you think about like the computer games,
it's a workout.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you can just distract someone, you can get them moving in a different way, and that's like the power of fitness classes. Like Zumba isn't necessarily. It keeps people motivated and distracted by dancing and actually get a great workout.
It's just I think like people can easily walk a few kilometers, but you put the word run in front of them, they get really intimidated because they think it's a sprint, but it's not. It can be a shuffle. Like it's just movement. Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Last serious question before we move on to being a little bit more silly. Not that we're being massive, knowing you. But knowing what you know now, and how much you love running and how much you love moving, what would you tell your younger self?
I think I would encourage her to work with her reality. I think I'd maybe explain that she doesn't necessarily have to love it, but not to hate it, and to just, to work with what she's got. I think the way you respond to your reality is what makes you the kind of person that you are, you know?
And just don't be afraid to start.
Yeah, for sure.
Like realism. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Amazing. Well, we are going to segue into our tip of the week from Steph. So take it away, Steph.
My top tip today is on the importance of running cadence. Cadence is the number of steps we take per minute and is really useful when looking at someone's running technique. The optimal cadence is around 180 steps per minute, but this will ultimately depend on how tall you are and the speed you're running at. Having too low a cadence can often suggest we are overstriding and landing on our heel. This can increase our chance of injury as the forces coming through the body are a lot higher. A higher cadence creates less impactful steps and lowers our vertical oscillation. This can reduce our chance of injury and create a more efficient and powerful running style. Thinking about cadence can help protect your body from injury and also help you run more efficiently so you can use your energy to run faster.
Thanks very much for that, Steph. We are going to go into a running dilemma that has been sent in, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinions and views on this. Okay.
This could be anything.
No. Hey, Anya and Ben. I've been thinking about joining a local running club because I've heard it's a great way to meet new people and possibly find a romantic connection. The problem is, I'm not sure how to approach it or what to expect. I'm not the most outgoing person, and the idea of showing up and introducing myself feels daunting. Any tips on how to navigate this situation? I want to step out of my comfort zone, but could use some guidance on how to make this less intimidating.
Do you have any pearls of wisdom?
Do you have any dating advice?
What is?
Well, kind of is.
I mean, I'm not an expert.
Dating, running.
Well, she wants to go and date someone, right? She wants to meet someone there to date.
I
But I think
met
there's
my
quite a lot of
partner through
pressure as
running.
well. Yeah, but you didn't have the intention to do
No.
that. I think having that intention is quite stressful.
But run clubs are a great way to
Yeah.
meet people because you're like-minded. You've got something in common before you even start, which is a great
I agree.
starting.
My thoughts of these things is like, if you go being like, I don't know anyone, I need to make some friends and whatever, it's like this big intimidating thing. I like just intentionally go up to the first person I find and say like, oh, how did you get here today?
Yeah.
And like, then they will say something and then I'll probably be able to work out what to say next. But like almost then rather than going and being like, oh, I need to like find like this, in this example, like a hot person and go and like tell them something really interesting and then you get scared of doing all of that. It's literally just like find the first person you stand next to and be like, oh, hey, how did you get here today? And then like you'll bumble along and you'll do your run and you might meet someone nice. You do that 100 times. Might work out.
And I feel like reminding yourself that everyone has turned up with that same intention. Like everyone's turned up on their own and nervous. You're not alone in that, you know?
Yeah. Well, if they want to meet new people, they can come along to our run club or even our Tinder run club.
Yeah. Dating run clubs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. And I hope they enjoy going and finding their new friends at their run clubs. We're going to go into our this or that section. With a horrendous lisp as I'm struggling. So, Savannah.
Yes.
You can only eat croissants in a marathon, or you can only consume your least favourite flavour of energy gels
During a marathon.
during a marathon for every marathon forever.
Oh, that feels like a trick question. Because, like, what if eating croissants just ruins them for me? What if, like, because I feel like you just feel
Oh, you
sick.
mean this is like such a kind, easy this or that? You're worried of like the ramifications.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, so you're saying spend a
You have
marathon?
to choose.
Yeah.
You can, for the rest of your life of marathon running,
Yeah.
you can only ever eat croissants in the middle of them.
Yeah.
You can only ever eat not your favourite flavour of energy gel.
Well, I feel like a croissant is actually like perfectly aimed, like carb. It's like perfect for a marathon, no?
Okay, so this is just like really easy.
Well, you know, because then I don't know if it'd actually be smarter to just have the gel, like suck it down and get through
But
it.
then you might hate marathon running.
Oh, you
But I
make
think
it
we
for
all
you.
just
Yeah.
suck it up and have a gel. Normal.
No croissants because so many options. Yeah, we'll do croissants. Plus, they give me so much energy. All the varieties of them, they're so great. Yeah.
I assume you might be taking.
I'd do the energy gels.
No, I think I'd do.
I
but
like croissant.
But I think
Yeah.
that's because maybe we want.
You're
We
functional.
want different things
Yeah.
out of the marathon.
Yeah.
We want to go quickly, and you want an adventure.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
And you want an adventure to get food, and if the food is croissants, it even makes the marathon
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, for sure. A good variety.
Nice. I think that was an easy one. Right. Let's,
I'm just looking at Savannah's croissant nails.
and yeah. For context, everyone, Savannah has croissant fingernail to go with her croissant tattoo on her forearm,
They're so good, aren't they?
and
Oh
her
yeah.
tattoo.
I may have taken this too far.
and her
Okay.
phone case that is a croissant as well. So that might have been a bit of. She hasn't got an energy gel on her fingernail. Right, Savannah, would you rather have the ability to effortlessly run a marathon or the ability to lift double your body weight?
Double my body weight.
Why?
I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah. Because I don't mind not finding a marathon effortless. Like I think the struggle's quite fun, and it's cool to not be amazing at running a marathon.
I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool to be learning something there. But I also want to be dense as fuck, and it'd be cool to lift
I
double my
love
body weight.
watching your like cleans and whatever in the
Yeah.
gym, and your mum.
Well, I can almost clean my body weight, so I feel like I could almost be there. Yeah, my mum's so strong as well. Yeah, I really want to get muscle up this year. I really like strength work, and actually, I'm starting with a boxing coach tomorrow. I know that's not strength work. I just really like movement generally. But
Would you ever do a boxing fight?
maybe.
Do you ever try and
I'm
take
so
down Anya?
scrappy. Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah,
We're cowering and look at that.
just feel like a.
No, we'll have to take the nails off because that's an unfair advantage.
She's got them as well. She's got a class.
I know, they're not muscles though.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, strength probably. I love strength stuff.
Wow. Okay. Last one. Would you rather never ever be able to run with pockets, and within pockets, I'm also saying a running vest that has all your bits and bobs, or you're never allowed to ever run with socks again?
I'll give up socks. I don't mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't mind that. Why? Is that really rogue?
No, but just like, I don't use pockets, but every time I see you getting ready for a run, you've got everything in the kitchen
Yeah.
sink with you.
Yeah.
Like,
But when I go out for a run, like I will be out for the rest of the day. Like I'll finish my run and then I'll just go out for a meal with like my running rucksack on. I just don't care.
what do you take with you?
So, do you know what? Last year I went for the most surreal run. I went for a run with a book, like an extra layer, some money, some snacks, and just went and went for like a 15k run, then sat in Hyde Park for like 2 hours, and then went and got some lunch and a picnic and just stayed there all day. Like, yeah, my whole life is in there.
I've seen you put croissants into your
Yeah, and they remain like
running
perfectly
vest.
formed as well because such a big running rucksack. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I think we just asked 3 very easy questions.
Yeah.
But I think they're interesting answers because I said the opposite.
Yeah, I think.
Would
but
you? You don't run with any pockets on you at all?
I don't bring. I want socks. I really want socks.
I actually don't think
Anything in my
I'm really not
pockets.
that bothered about pockets or socks.
What about your phone? Do you have it in your hand?
Yeah, or I don't bring it, and my keys are in my hand, or like I attach it to my shoelace or my sports bra.
No way.
Yeah,
No, couldn't do that.
don't have anything in it.
Yeah. Do you not listen to music when you're running? Yeah, right? You got a phone in your hand, fine.
Yeah, but not often. I quite like mine.
Just all the trauma.
Yeah.
Andy likes running laps of Battersea Park without any music, like a robot.
Yeah, but she always has a smile on her face, which is so weird.
I'm just a robot. Amazing. So we're going to go on to the inspirational runner story of the week.
For anyone who wants to send us your embarrassing stories or any inspiring stories, please send them to podcast@runner.com or send us a message or even a voice note on Instagram.
I haven't read this one yet, so I'm ready for a real-time reaction. Okay. Oh, I don't want to be sad. Okay. 9 months ago, I had a heart attack and ended up spending the better part of 2 weeks in hospital. A couple of months after leaving hospital, I walked a quarter of a mile and was completely exhausted. I took a 3-hour nap afterwards to recover. I jokingly referred to that as the start of my ultramarathon career. I kept walking, then started running, and in order to be better, I downloaded the Runner app. It's been life-changing for me. The workouts are the exact right level of challenging for me, and I've slowly gotten better and able to run longer without overdoing it.
I've been using it for the past 2.5 months and have increased my long run from 4K to 14K, which is more than I could have done before my heart attack. My muscles are not tired or in agony, and my heart rate has gone down, and my heart rate for similar runs has dropped from 140 beats per minute to around 120. The best health benefit for me has been in my improved mood and outlook on life. It's been truly transformational. It's amazing.
so lovely.
And I love how he said that it's the start of his ultramarathon journey, and he's at 14K.
Yeah.
But I kind of like think we need a round 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
amazing.
the best benefit has been their improved mood and outlook on life.
But that's the reason why you run.
Yeah, that's so cool. Also, like his outlook that he's just got loads of time left to live and to work on this. That's so cool.
Well, Savannah, we have our final very serious question. So you're on the start line for your next marathon, the Hawaii Marathon, with Anya and I by your side, and you're totally naked. You can bring 3 things with you on the marathon. What are they going to be?
Shoes, phone, headphones.
No pockets.
It's like your
No,
answer.
I feel like I'm good. No,
I love that.
yeah, I love
that.
they'll
And
provide gels.
You
Yeah.
will definitely feel like you're in a music video now.
Exactly. I've got great boobs.
Like an
fine.
explicit music video.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys.
Well, sounds like it's going to be a great marathon. Presumably you'll put sun cream on first.
Obviously, I'm
Yeah.
not Neanderthal. Yeah, I can't wait, you guys.
Well, stay tuned for December for Savannah's Hawaii Marathon.
Explicit content coming soon.
Well, there we are. Thank you very much for joining us on the Runna
so
Podcast,
much.
Thank you for
Savannah.
having me, you guys.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Runna. If you want to train for any running goal, please download the app, and don't forget you can use the code Runna Podcast for a 2-week free trial.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, share, follow, do all of that nonsense, and we'll be back here next week. And if you want to be featured, send us your embarrassing running story. Either send us a voice note on Instagram or send us an email to podcast@runner.com so that we can have a good laugh at your expense in Runner HQ and share it on one of the next episodes.